Hi, this is Donald Gordon again, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Here we go again. Tomorrow I actually have a booking in a series. It's just one day as a policeman. So I think they're going to cut my hair. They know my hair is long. They've seen photographs. I've sent some photographs of my hair yesterday morning. So they haven't come back apparently, but they know. So I think if I'm an undercover cop, they probably can leave my hair as it is, and if not, then they're going to have to cut it. Well, they're going to have to cut it full stop. I still haven't shaved because I still can't find my razor, and we supposedly have some disposable razors somewhere in the house, but I don't know where they are, and so I'm a little scruffy looking, but I have washed. I've gone for a run. Yeah, so that's good news. It's reasonable money for the day. I won't live on it because I need that money once a week at least to be able to live off it for the year, or as a job. But anyway, it's work and it's a good start to the year. And depending on what time my call is at, I may or may not do a video tomorrow. If I do, I'll let you know. Either way, I'll let you know how it went. I don't think I can mention the actual project at the moment, but yeah, but I'll tell you about what happened. Yeah, the other thing I want to talk about briefly is pets, animals, dogs and cats in general. We have both. They don't live together because we have the cats up on the roof. It's a flat roof and they have their own little room as well. And that was a refuge for most of the time. It still is. And there was 13 cats at one stage, all going mad. Well, they weren't going mad, but there a lot of action going on, and all operated. And we only have 3 now, and we're not taking any more. As I said to Betty, she's done her stuff. So when an animal or someone comes to us with a cat, we try to find. Well, we always find a home, and hopefully the animal is safe, and you can't do much more than that. We have 6 dogs now. We had 4. We had 4 for about 4 years. And then before Christmas, a friend or someone that Betty knows anyway of my chocolate hot drink rang saying he had 2 pups that need to be housed. And I was listening to I couldn't avoid the conversation. I could hear the conversation. And I don't know him that well, but I did sense there was a sense of urgency in his voice, and irritation or concern. I wasn't sure. And he wanted us to, if he could, take one of the pups. They're brother and sister. And I said to Betty immediately, both of them, and we'll find a home for them. And because I sensed there was something wrong. So that was about Tuesday of the week. This is about now, a month ago. And they were 2.5 months or so at the time. And they arrived on Friday around midday, 1 o'clock or something. And the guy arrived with his girlfriend, who seemed, I don't know if she was in shock or embarrassed. I really don't know. There's just a funny look on her face, kind of stunned look on her face maybe. And I didn't touch the pups. He said that they had their first set of vaccines, and he insisted on paying us about $50 for the next. And he said, if you need more money, let us know. I was thinking, this is strange, because normally what people do is that if they find a pup or they want to get rid of a pup or a kitten, they just give it to you and end the story. So that kind of rang alarm bells with me even more. And anyway, they went off, and again, I hadn't held them at this stage, and we went straight to the vet. Someone's coming into the room, so I'm going to have to ask them to. 2 minutes. Sorry. So, yeah, I lost my train of thought. Yes. So we went to the vet, and she checked them, and the female, she had a broken tail. Now she didn't feel anything because obviously it happened when she's very, very young. Very, very young. It's like 2 months ago. And the boy, he seemed fine. So we came home, and later in the evening we started feeding them, and I noticed that the male, Wayne, his name is. I'll do a video of all the dogs actually over the next week or so, and he had a problem swallowing, so he was eating his food and taking water, and I noticed this. So the vet checked him again, and she thinks he's actually broken, something's broken or maybe deformed. And I was just thinking, I understand now why this guy, I'm not going to mention his name, was concerned. What I found out later is his girlfriend actually has a child, a boy about 5 years of age. You know, what I suspect is that he probably was a little rough with the male, and probably hugged him too hard and maybe damaged something in his throat. We need to have an X-ray taken, and probably later this week, and hopefully can be fixed. Anyway, they're here with us. They've integrated nicely with the other 4 adults, which Bobby was our first dog. He moved on about 5 or 6 years ago. Paddy is the oldest. He's I'd say a great granddad, and he's great with them. They attack him and they bite him, and doesn't seem to bother him too much. Sometimes he can get annoyed, and he deals with that. The other 3, they're beginning to play. My point is, another little story is a neighbour here. She has just divorced. Actually divorced about a year and a half ago, but she has to leave the house. Long story, I'm not going to go into it, and I don't know all the details. And she had 3 cats. Yeah, sorry about that. I got interrupted and I had to stop the video. Yeah, so as I was saying, the neighbour, she has 3 cats and a dog, and where she's going, she can only have 2 animals. So she has selected 2 of the cats, and she said to me the other night she might just throw the other cat out onto the street. And I was saying, what? The dog is still there. One of the neighbours fed it this morning, but he couldn't give it any water, so I have to kind of figure out how to get water into where she is in the garage. There's a way of doing it. We just have to find some time to do it. And it's interesting because all the animal rescuers, for some reason, they aren't interested. Maybe it's because they're not going to make any money from this. But there are a lot of rescuers out there. So there's a lot of great rescuers out there. I mean, we are rescuers too. We make no money. We lose money, and we don't care because we're doing it for the animals. But some rescuers out there are just doing it for the money. And she went to a number of rescuers, and they just were not interested in the dog. The vet has a similar problem with another dog. An elderly woman has become sick, and she's bedridden now, and she can't look after the dog, so she's stuck with the dog at the moment. It's paid for. Her stay with the vet is paid for, but only for a month. That's coming to an end. So yeah, it's not my problem, but I also don't want to see the dog on the street. I don't want to see the cat on the street. Um, so the real problem is that she didn't think about the animals first, where was she going to put them? She thought about, that's understandable, I suppose, about where she's going to live. And so now she's in this situation, or the animals are in this situation now. And hopefully we can find somewhere safe for the two of them. In fact, I don't know if we can, because when you hand over an animal to a family or to a person, you know, you can't chase them every day to find out if they're okay. We've housed so many cats and dogs over the years, we just can't keep track, and all we can do is just hope for the best. We have our own 6. They're now actually gone to the vet for the vet passed by here, picked up the dogs, which is nice and handy, and they're going to have a bath today. So we have a few hours rest, that kind of. And yeah, so my point is that if you get an animal and you really want, if you really care for that animal, it's a responsibility. Whether it's one animal or 6, it's a responsibility. When they're babies, you have to teach them how to go to the toilet, or where to go to the toilet, better said. They know exactly what to do, just where. And it took a few weeks to get by our little 2 babies used to using the toilet outside. Not the patio. We have a patio, fortunately, so it makes it easier. Not everybody has a patio. And they still have a little accident now and again, and even the adults have accidents now and again, although I think they're deliberate. And training a dog can take a few months, or at least a month or 6 weeks. Maybe some people even say more. And I'm talking about in terms of training, toilet training, in terms of walking and sitting and all that kind of thing. That takes a little longer. We haven't started on that yet. I haven't started on that yet. So it's a huge responsibility if you want to take it seriously. And a lot of people don't take it seriously. It can be expensive. Fortunately, our vet is not greedy, and we've been with her a long time, so she's very fair in the pricing. And because we do help house animals, she gives us a discount. I don't know what percentage, but she does what she can. She has to live as well, also. And we also, so anyway, so the babies we have now, we were going to house them, but I thought, well, let's make sure they're little. Oh yeah, the other thing is, when I picked up the dogs, they were bags of bones, the 2 of them. They had not been eating, obviously. And this is probably where this guy who gave the dogs to us realized there was a problem here. Now, I don't believe it was deliberate abuse. I just think it's lack of consciousness. Also, I believe that the girl was, well, she's a woman, but I'm Irish, all women are girls. You could be 80 years of age, and I still call you a girl. That's just a cultural thing. If you have a problem with that, I don't care. So she, I just think she had the babies to sell them for Christmas. And what happens around this time of year is, not in this case, the neighbour, but the old dogs get thrown out for the newer babies, and those the people that have experience know that the pups will take a few months to train. Not everybody knows that, and not everybody is prepared to actually train them. So it happens they get thrown out as well. So you find you have young pups and old dogs on the street after Christmas. And that's only in Mexico, it's in my own country too, in Ireland. It's a big problem at the moment. I don't really know why, but it's a big problem. I haven't lived there for 35 years, so forgive me if I'm a little if I don't know so much about the actual circumstances. So if you plan to have a dog, particularly for a child, a pup, think about it. It's not fair on you if you don't have much time, if you don't have much resources. It's not fair on the animals, because if you're cold, you might just throw them out onto the street or send them to the pound. But think about what you're doing. Do you really want to have a cat or a dog? Really? Are you prepared to spend time? Like, for example, I get up at 6 in the morning. At the moment, I get up at 6. Tomorrow will be very, very different. I'm working tomorrow, and after that, I'll be getting up at 5. I get up at 6. I prepare their food, and I walk them. I get back just after 7. So that's an hour of my time in the morning. The same happens in the afternoon. So that's 2 hours of my time. And I don't mind giving that time to them, because they're my kids. They're our kids. So it's time consuming, sorry. You may not want to spend that time. I mean, that time is precious to me, but I'm willing to give that time to them. More so than to my wife. But that's another thing. It's another issue. And the cost of food, vet costs, and so on. So think about it very, very deeply. Ask people who have pets, what are the consequences? The positive consequences. I mean, there's no real negative consequences other than cost and time, from my point of view. But if you're willing to sacrifice that, go ahead. But think about it. I would also recommend two animals, either a cat and a dog, or 2 dogs, 2 cats. Particularly a dog, because they don't like being alone. So when you go out to work, I assume most of you work, they get very stressed out. At least if there's 2, they have company. It's not ideal, but they have company. Cats are not such a big problem. They're more loners, and they'll just sleep all day. But even then, it's good to have 2 for company. So that's it, really. Just that's all I really wanted to mention. This is actually going to be a short, miscellaneous video, but it's turned out to be a little longer. There's no timestamp here on my screen of my iPad here, which I'm kind of using to check. Yeah, so that's the end of my speech for today. So tomorrow I'm working, great, and if you intend to have an animal, think about it very, very deeply before you actually jump in and get one. Oh, one last thing, please don't buy one. There's plenty of dogs out there and cats out there that are, you can get one on the street, and usually they've been thrown onto the street anyway, so they're used to a home, but they might have been on the street for 1 or 2 or 3 years or more, and probably already trained. And if you have the patience and old dog, our dogs, we have 2 pups now, but 2 of the dogs are old. One is probably about 15, I reckon. And to be honest, if he lasts the year, he'll be lucky, or we'll be lucky. But that's life. The other old dog, the one that plays with the pups, he's about, I would say, 13. Again, these are all street dogs. And he's fit for the moment anyway, he's fit. So if he could, we go to the pound or just pick a dog off the street. An old dog if you can, if you have the patience and the money, because they probably need medication. Okay. So, with that said, I'll hang up and get on with my day, and we go from there. But think about it. Very important to think about it. It's in Spanish it's compromiso. It's not compromise. It's I can't think of the word. Anyway, you need to dedicate time and of course resources to an animal if you take it seriously, and I hope you do. Please give thumbs up. This is Donald Gordon saying goodbye. Well, not goodbye, but till next time.